Hello friend. In my last project I have already started working on the Django by firing the start project command, and we created the project called KNN. In this video I will be working on application in Django. So to create an application you have to fire this particular command called python manage.py. Remember, all the command will be making use of this manage.py, and after that you have to write the command name, and the command name is called startapp. This is going to create an app, and whatever app name you are going to give over here. So I have given the app name as app underscore classifier because I am targeting the KNN classification model. So for that reason I gave my app name as app underscore classifier. Okay, now once you fire this command you will find this particular folder gets created, and within which there will be few good number of files that will come up. We will go through these files but one after the other. So once you created this app, by default Django will not be aware about this app creation. You have to inform Django project that you have created this app, and for that reason what you have to do, you have to register the app. You have to register the newly created app, which is this app underscore classifier, in the settings.py of the project. So come to the KNN, which is your project, and over here you will get settings.py. As you open this, here you will find install app array, and here you need to add this entry, that is the app name, whatever app name you have given over here. You can write at the beginning, you can write at the end, it doesn't matter, that's not an issue. So whatever is the app name, be careful about the spelling, that you have to write over here. Once you have written this, then Django will get to know that in your project you have got one application, and the application name is app underscore classifier. That is what the point number 2 says. Now comes point number 3. Inside this app you will find by default a file called views.py. Okay, if you remember, I told you in my last video the way of Django execution is when the URL when the user gives the URL will be taken by Django, and Django will pass the URL to view.py. So over here I have a file called view.py, and here you have to write the function view. So let's go and check out what I have done. So let's open this file. Initially you will find this particular file as empty. You have to create the function view. Well, there can be class level view also, there can be function level view. Right now I'm working on the function level view. So you create a Python function, not a JavaScript function. You create a Python function by the keyword called def. Then you give the function name whatever you feel like, and you have to receive some data from the front end. So for the time being you just write the argument that is called request. Well, right now this parameter is of no use, but later on it will come in picture. And then you define the body of this particular function. I have just written just a basic statement just to show you that the view is working. That's the only thing. Remember, in other backend programming language like Laravel, PHP Laravel, or Java Spring Boot, or JavaScript Node.js, when we talk about the view, we mean view is an interface according to those backend framework. But as of Django is concerned, view is a controller. View has you just saw that view, by the name view, a file is getting generated when you are creating the app. So that means such an important file is this. So view is working as a controller, and inside this you have to write the business logic what your app is supposed to do. So right now what I've given is I've given a call to the module called HTTP from django.http. Here I'm giving a call to HTTP response. That means this response is going to be forwarded to the client side, to the front end. Just basic HTML statement I have written. So when this particular view will be called, this following statement will be forwarded. When this particular view will be called, this following statement will be forwarded. Just to show you that how these views are actually interacting, just to show you that. But later on I will modify these views, and here we have to write a good number of codes which will come in the upcoming videos. So that was a part of the view.py which I have written right over here according to point number 3. Now comes to point number 4, and this is very interesting. When you create the app, you will find the file view.py, but there will be no file by the name called urls.py. I repeat, when you are creating the app by firing the startup command, you will create this particular app. At that point of time you will have a file called view.py and other files, but there will be no file called urls.py. You need to create this. Yes, you need to create this and you have to give a call to the respective view. So this view I have to call it with the help of urls.py file. So this file you need to create, and then what you have to do, you have to create one array, and this array is going to call a method called path, and that is coming from django.urls. So django.url module will give a call to the path function where you are passing three parameters. The first is the URL string. Right now this is a blank. The second one, you have to give a call to the view. View means this particular file. I'm talking about this file view. So that's the reason the name of the class has been added over here. This is the package name, and from there I'm calling the file name view. Inside the view I have written a function called home. Similarly, I've written a function called user input that is getting called over here with the help of dot operator. So this is your file name, this is your method name, you can say so. And here I've given a name to this particular view. This is an optional argument, you can give, you may not give, that is fine, but I've just added for the future reference. So these two are the composite one. Again, I'm saying the first one is the URL string that you have to write in the URL of the browser. The second one is a file name that you are adding from the application which you have created, inside which you have given a call to the method name, what view name you have written, that what you will be calling it. So this url.py file you have to create in your app level. Okay, remember this url.py will not be there initially when you are creating your app. Now once you have created URL, once you have given a call to the respective view, now is the time you have to register this URL at your project level URL. So when you have created your project, inside the project you have already got one url.py file. Here you have to register this URL which you just now created in your app level. Don't get confused, okay? This url.py is a project level, this url.py is the app level. When you are creating a project, at that point of time url.py is getting created automatically, but when you are creating an app, then it is not getting created. You have to create for your routing so that the respective view can be invoked. Okay, that's the difference. So now what I will do, I will register the url.py of the app level in the project level. So let's come to the url.py and look over here. I have to include my url.py, and that url.py inside the app call, whatever the app name it is. And for that reason you have to give a call to the include, and that is coming from django.url. So include is a function which is added which is present in the package called django.url, and with the help of include you are writing the name of the project and name of the app, and inside the app the name of the url.py. So this line will be very important, that actually will give a call to your app, and eventually it will give a call to URL, which eventually will give a call to view.py present inside your app level. Okay, so at the beginning you over here see I don't have any argument to be taken. So if I just write localhost colon 8000, it will redirect me to this app within which I have a URL. Let me open that even, and when I open the let me open this one. When I open this, it will give a call to the home, and what is there in the home? Let's open this also. The home has got this message, welcome to ML and Django. My application is already running, so let's come to the browser, and here it goes, and I've just written localhost colon 8000, and here comes the message, welcome to ML.Django. So if I just change to Django 5.1, you will find this change is going to be reflected over there. Let me refresh it, and here goes 5.1. so that means this is working very fine. And now I have got one more view. I can give a call to import, and that will call this particular view method. So I have to write this after the URL, so slash import. So let's come over here slash, and then I write import. I hit the enter, and see it reads data from the CSV. Let me add this line, let me add this word also, CSV file. So read data from CSV, and now if I refresh, it will be read data from CSV file. That's how my entire app is working. Sound interesting? So follow these steps, and eventually you will be able to create the app inside your Django project. So if you look at the file structure, here is your project level files, here is your app level files. For the time being, ignore these two folders. I will come on these template part later on, but for the time being you create that app so that your project is running smoothly. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. See you soon.